watching the show. You know, folks, you can go home and you can watch stuff on TV. You can watch magic on TV, and it's going to be way better than what you see here. Trust me. But there's only one place you can experience the live performing arts, and that's on a live performing stage. And we have a great friend in Joe Derry. He's brought us the Orange County Magic Showcase. Let's give him a round. Some of us are new to the craft. Some of us have been doing it since God was a corporal. And we use this as a place where we can come out and try a few new things, something a little different, find out what works, find out mostly what we just never ought to do again, and sometimes something completely new. How many of you have one of these sitting around at home? How many of them look like this? Yeah, the hands go down. Hands go down. All right, this is the Okie group over here, right? Okay, I'm going to need someone with manual dexterity. This side of the room. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, you're close. Here you go. Screw my life up for me. Just mess up that cue. What's your name, ma'am? Renee. It's hard to even talk while you're doing that, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
Right? She's like, Renee. I would have the same problem. Go ahead. Funny thing, you might not know this about the Rubik's Cube. With a deck of cards, if you start shuffling a deck of cards, you hit your maximum randomness, your highest level of chaos, after about 7 shuffles. And after that, you begin to create patterns of cards and they become less random. With the Rubik's Cube, it takes about 10 twists. After that, you begin to develop patterns and it becomes less random. Although there are 43 quintillion possible combinations, and I think she's going to try them all. Now, I like to put that number in perspective. Let me have that back. Are you done? Is it nice and screwed up?
Sort of.
Oh, thanks a lot. Okay, she came to the show tonight. Are you one of my ex-wives? To put that number in perspective, 43 quintillion, that means if you tried one combination every second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, non-stop, you would have tried every combination of the Rubik's Cube in just about 1,400 million years. Wow. That doesn't really help put it in perspective, though, does it? It's like life. You see, this is awfully screwed up, and that's the way we kind of start. At least that's the way I started. And what you want to do with life is get the basics in order when you very begin. I saw some kids doing this in a competition, literally did it in seconds. I tried. I can't even do it in seconds. There's just no way. These kids made me look stupid, but to be honest, I'm a father. It's not the first time. It's what we do. The goal, obviously, is to have a completely solved cube. It has almost infinite possibilities, again, much like life, but not quite. You see, with life, you want to get a basis. You want to start out in, say, grade school, where you're going to learn, before that, maybe some walking, maybe some letters, and then you go to grade school, you learn how to read. If you focus, and there you go. You got one level done. Next step, you're going to go to, say, middle school and then high school. And at that point, hopefully, you'll learn some things about social interaction, which is very important. You'll learn about dating. And most importantly, you'll learn how to ignore your parents. I excel at ignoring my parents. Yes, it did visit back to me. My son was far better than I was. But with a little bit of effort, you get out of there and you're heading now to your next level. Maybe it's trade school, maybe it's grad school, or some form of other higher learning. And then before long, you're going to be off to career. But first, we have to get that next level done. And it's completely possible. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it looks good at the second level. Someone's actually applauding. I'm a grown man doing a Rubik's Cube in front of a room full of people. Okay. We're at that second level, and this is the tough part. This is really where it gets weird. This is kind of like life when you've gotten past the point of school and you're heading off into the beginning of your career, and that's when the patterns begin to look the same. Yeah, over and over. See what I mean? At least one of you's nodding. I appreciate that. That's the other thing that makes it different about the performing arts. Your actual feedback, we can see it. It's not like a TV at home. Unless you're my current girlfriend, in which case you talk to the TV. Why did you do that? I don't understand. That reminds me. Joe, would you make a note? I need to write some jokes. You're getting there. It feels good. It almost feels like you've got it all figured out, but not quite. A few things still out of place, and you begin to mature. And you try, and you try. It still looks slightly out of kilter. And it's almost there. Oh yeah, you can feel it. You know you're getting it right. And one day, you realize your efforts just made a mess. My advice, nice and simple. Don't work so hard. Take it a little bit easy. Maybe you want to travel. Would you do me a favor and stand up real quick? Just come over here. I'm sorry, wait a second. My volunteer's in a conversation. I'm going to interrupt. Come up and stand over here. I'm going to suggest that what you do at that point, rather than work so hard, just take a break, take it easy. Hold your hand up for me if you would. Thank you. Would you show the audience that we finally figured it all out? Hey! Thank you. Now, while you're here, I don't know. I wasn't watching. Did everyone else pick on you tonight? Okay, well, it's because you're right there and you're so convenient. That didn't come out right, did it? I just slipped into another ex-wife thing, didn't I? Yeah, okay. I'd like to share with everyone a story, and you're going to help me out with it in just a second. So just stay there and stay comfortable. I had a guy in my life when I was a kid. He was the first guy that taught me a magic trick. Now, every magician has a story. How did you get started? Oh, I got a magic set when I was 9 years old. In my case, I had a guy named Grandpa Charlie. Now, after my grandmother died, he came to live with us, and he stayed in my room. And I spent a lot of great quality time with Charlie, because that's really all he had, was time. He didn't have any money, but he was a pretty entertaining guy, and he taught me how to vanish a coin. And he always had coins in his pocket. Once in a while, we'd go to the store, we'd go somewhere, he'd give me a little bit of the change, and I would put it in my pocket, and I had a habit of spending it on candy and cigarettes. And I'm interred quickly. And it was one day, I was in my 20s, and I realized I still had one of the coins from Charlie. And it was something I had put in a box, and I put away. I'm going to initial this one, because you want to keep track. You can see. Right, I know. So I don't want you switching it up. You're the eyes in the audience. There's a coin. I'd like you to do me a favor, if you would, and just initial the back. Or just make a mark and initial or something. Okay. Look, R also on there. That's great. So we have an R on the front. We have an R on the back. Now, as a child, I would put those coins in my pocket. I would then typically spend them, as I said. And that wasn't the brightest thing to do. And when I came across this last one, I knew I wanted to keep it. I knew that if I just put it in my pocket like everything else, I would spend it. So I decided to do something special with it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but there's a thing called a coin holder. Something. Well, hold on to this for now. This is my piece. Just hold that. Put that in your hand. Put your hand over. Great. I decided to go a little something special and something I would make sure to not lose the coin. So I didn't want essentially that to happen. Would. So what I did was I placed it in a coin holder, and to keep it with me all the time, I attached it to my keychain. Now, would you take a look? Is there a coin? Is that the coin you initialed? Tell me, is that Charlie's $50?
Yeah.
And we saved it, and we'll never let that go.
Wow.
Thank you very much. again, thanks for joining us at the live Orange County Magic Showcase. It's been great to have you, and I hope you enjoyed being here.
And that is Ralph Shelton, everybody. A wonderful round of applause. Ralph. Here we go. What's the difference between a savings bond and a magician?
What?
The bond will mature and start earning money. Wait. There's another one. How do you get a professional magician off your doorstep?
How?
Pay for the piece.